Hello everybody, this is Maniac for Bricks, and I am here today with set number 9489, the Endor Rebel Trooper and Imperial Trooper Battle Pack. Now that's a long name to type in the description. This is a LEGO Star Wars set from 2012, has 77 pieces, includes 4 figures, and ages 6 to 12. This originally retailed for about $12.99. Let's take a closer look at this set now, starting with the instructions. The instructions will give you the idea of what the box art looks like for the set, and at the time of its release, Darth Maul was on the header for the Star Wars sets. It also shows a couple explosions in the background for simulated play. No actual explosions intended in the set. This was actually a pretty easy build, and nothing too complicated as far as putting everything together. Nothing really can be said as far as this building process. Most of it, you are building about half and half of each model between the tree and the speeder bike. I can't really say what's the most difficult part about it. I mean, the speeder bike has a little bit more difficult building since it's not one piece on top of another, but it's still not that hard of a build. You have two pages long for the piece count of the set. It also shows you a section for each of the features in the set, of which there are mainly 2. We get a small comic strip based on an animation. They kind of show what the set can do. And then you have some of the other 2012 sets, the Lego Club and the Win Kid on the back. So let's get to the minifigures. So here we have the Endor Rebel Troopers, and these are actually hard to come by as far as minifigures. The one you see on the left is only included in 2 different sets. This one and the Ewok Village, so that's actually a rare figure. And the one on the right is also a rare figure in that it doesn't come exactly in the same combination in other sets. I'm sure that the torso is found elsewhere, though, and I do recognize the helmets from other Star Wars sets as well. So, in taking a closer look at them, you can see one of them has a pair of binoculars and a small pistol, the other one has a large battle rifle, and I really like the design on each of these in terms of colors. They really line up well. The torso designs for the printing is really nice for both of these. They do not have back printing on each of their heads. And just a quick look, you can see even the helmets on top are printed and, well, not printed, but textured. And if you recognize this face, it's actually from Indiana Jones. It's a reused head that is just used for a plain Rebel Trooper. The hands for each of these is not skin colored, it is actually the color of a very light-skinned figure, such as Dobby the Elf from Harry Potter, or that Bib Fortuna from Jabba's Palace. So now we'll take a look at our Stormtroopers. So here we have the Biker Scout and the Stormtrooper in this set. I don't recall if these are anything rare in terms of variations for these figures. I know for the Biker Scout, it's mostly the same, except for the head, because as far as printing goes, that goes back to the 1999, when the first Biker Scout was made for a set. And I know the Stormtroopers changed so many times in variations, I can't actually keep count if this is a new or exclusive version. But what I do like about them is their printing is fresh, at least for the Stormtrooper. It has a lot of intricate details. The Biker Scout, it could have a little bit better detail, but still looks good. It does not have any back printing on the Biker Scout, which is kind of a shame. And we have back printing on the Stormtrooper. On both of their heads, there are head printings. Finally. Or at least once again, because they have been released a few times. The reason why it's on the back of this Biker Scout is because his mask would show black in front of his face. If we put this on, it would look like this, but if we had the head in the front, it would look like that. So they both have the same exact head underneath them. One is just intentionally twisted around. I would have actually liked to see some leg printing on the Stormtrooper though, since that does appear from time to time, and it actually looks pretty good. Next, we'll take a look at the Endor Rebel base, if you want to call it that. Mainly a small outpost in my opinion, because it really doesn't have much to offer. It has a couple of pieces of foliage, and it's mainly made on a couple of round plates, and just has a small tree. Then we also have a weapons rack, can't say it right, on the back here where you can store each of the weapons if you wanted to. That's one of the play features, apparently, of the set. And the second one is the simple rotating turret. It only has one flick-fire missile, and can rotate in 360 degrees. We'll just move the minifigures back so we can get that to turn around. And it's simple flick-fire. So very easy to use, and very easy to position. It's got a lot of room on here, so you can fit the minifigures right on top, as if they're controlling it. But pretty much fits for only 2 figures. It's actually a good thing they included 2 of these figures in the set, because it's kind of crammed inside of here. Lastly in the set, we have the bikers. The speeder bike is actually an interesting build, and it's a similar build that we've seen from years before, in terms of the back piece entirely being made from a motorcycle trike, and then the rest is built on top of that and attached to the front all the way out to here. It's kind of become a standard at this point as far as building this, with very little variation between them. But it's still an impressive design. I still like how everything looks. You can take off the backpack from here if you wanted to have an actual thing for the Stormtrooper and the Biker Scout to do, as if they're just hiking or trying to find extra ammo. There's really not much of play features with this other than just swooshing it around. It is a fun thing to have around, and especially to have in multiples, so you can have them racing through the forest of Endor. You can also move these handles up and down, and since we have the Biker Scout with one hand on the pistol, we'll take that off, and we can put both hands on the speeder bike's handles. There's very little adjustment in that section, and if you adjust it too far, you might start to break some pieces. This is one piece that keeps falling off from me, and is actually not my favorite thing about it. This little piece for the exhaust, I assume, keeps falling off because it's very, very loosely held on there. It doesn't seem like this is even with the ground either. I'll have to adjust this a little bit and see if it'll work better. And if you have them with both on the hands, you can just put that in the back. So overall, this is a neat little battle pack. At least we have a little bit to play with both parts. But truth be told, I expected this to be a little bit bigger and a little bit easier to play with. This still works out really well for a speeder bike. Over the years, I think they've gotten a little bit better in design and construction, but it does occasionally have pieces that fall off of it. So thanks for watching this video, hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time with more LEGO set reviews.